I tell y'all what's on my mind? Can I get a couple of things off my chest?
Let me get my mic right. Let me get my mic right. Get it all right. Yes. When they tried to tell me no, I said, yes, Lord, for the rest of my days. Yes. What's up? It's your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, but I can't be your son, as you can't vote. William Jewell, giving you my detail as I articulate. This is articulating. Rap. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn all the notifications on so you can get all the new posts, all the new content when I drop it. Because I'm going to continue to give y'all this wisdom. I'm going to continue to give y'all this gospel. I got a lot of inquiries. You know, people are asking me, can I articulate their album? Can I give them an album review? And it's an honor. And it makes me feel good to know that I'm doing something in the hip hop community that's getting artists excited about putting music out, and they want me to put my stamp, they want me to put my touch on it because they like the way I articulate. Late, don't be late, be early. Early bird get the worm. But yes, we heard the new Big Sean single, right? It dropped Friday morning. That's the first music that I actually listened to. And to be honest, when he was gearing up to release an album before the beef had started to commence, that song was good. Precision, right? That was a good song too. He had a freestyle, Drake flow. That was good. He did yes. And to be honest, I feel like he kind of stole Kendrick's flow a little bit. And we hear the on the radar freestyle when he say he ain't trying to beef with nobody and this and that, and fans were uh thinking that he was talking about Kendrick, right? Because him and Kendrick had a little tit for tat back in the day, right? And people thinking it was going to be rehashed, right, through Sean dropping this freestyle. But he said he's not talking about that Gemini. He's talking about another Gemini per DJ Head, right? He say he basically they say he's talking about Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to start beef to be known, to be relevant. Like I'm not just trying to start beef. He freestyled about it, rapped about it. But we know about the theories. We know about the 8/8/2024, right? That's a Kobe day. That's a day that Kendrick is rumored to drop. I don't know if it's a single. I don't know if it's a heart. And I wonder if it's a heart part 7. Will he skip the 6? Or is it the album? But we know that Kendrick is rumored, right, in theory, that he might put something out around that time. And for Big Sean to name his release date on 8/9/2024, right, and pretty much say he don't care about those theories, he don't care about whatever conspiracies that the fans are concocting, he's gonna drop regardless, and either you be ready or you move out the way. So when I think about that boldness and that assertion as far as when he's going to release, and then the rumors of him speaking about Kendrick on a freestyle. I mean, one could surmise that he's just blowing a lot of smoke when he's saying this about Kanye. One could surmise this could be the double-edged sword. This could be the double entendre. The shoe fits both of them. One could surmise that Big Sean is a little bit salty because his music got stepped on by the rap beef, right? Because it was Euphoria that came out when Sean released Precision. And we know this ill will towards each other goes back to that Control verse. And Big Sean didn't even put it on the album, but he let it be released. So, you know, we just kind of got to think about it and like see things unfold. And I'm not mad about it. We know Big Sean is a talented rapper. We know as far as skill set, as far as ability, as far as talent, As far as the hits, as far as albums, as far as project goes, he could be in the big three. He's either big four or big five behind Future, but I feel like Future is more one dimensional. And since Sean can kind of do it all, that elevates him past Future. But Future might have the numbers, but I feel like Big Sean should be revered. So that's just something that we can think about, we can call into question, and we could assume, you know, whatever we see. Like, but at the end of the day, you got to see the smoke and mirrors. At the end of the day, you got to see somebody holding a hand behind their back, right? Because it seems like he's trying to make it seem like it's not about Kendrick, it's about Kanye, but we don't know. Like, it could be all talk. So I just say keep your antennas up, keep your ears to the music, and let's see what happens. But Big Sean, he's a great Detroit, the D, right? And no, he's not underrated. I feel like he's right where he needs to be. Is he not giving his flowers enough? Is he underappreciated? Yes, but is he underrated? No. I feel like in the hierarchy of rapping, of hip hop in the last 10 years, he's in the space right where he needs to be. So salute to Big Sean. I'm looking forward to hearing the music because he never puts any trash music out. Right? He always puts some quality music out, whether you like the collective package or not. That's up to you. That's up to, your subjectiveness, right? But to me, musicality, sonically, the production is going to be there. The lyrics are going to be there. The only answers that he has to, the only questions he has to answer, is it going to be cohesive? Is it going to be conceptual? Is it going to be digestible? And is he going to have them bangers? Is he going to have that heat rock? Is he going to be conscious? Is he going to be more lit? Is he going to talk to his age group? Is he going to talk to the younger generation? Is he going to talk to everybody? So those are the ancillary details. Those are the technicalities that when we start to pick apart these albums, that's when we start to pick apart Sean and the difference from him and the others like Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake, right? So we'll see how that goes in Blxst, right? Blxst, Blxst, West Coast native. He was on the Pop Out show with Kendrick. He was on the Mustard set, and his vocals were a little scratchy. His vocals on that set when it was live music were a little bit raspy, although he sounds smooth when he's on the tracks. In the vocal booth, but when he was live, I don't know if it was a microphone issue. I don't know if it was a technical issue, but he sounded a little bit raspy. He sounded a little bit whispery. He sounded like he really couldn't sing. And I mean, let's be honest, he never really hit no real notes. He never showed any true range. He's not BJ, the Chicago kid. And no, he's not Ty Dolla $ign. He's a notch below that as far as vocals go. So I believe, Blxst is who he is. And he released a new album, right? Blxst released a new album, and it's called I'll Always Come Find You. I'll Always Come Find You. Blxst released a new album this Friday, right? And, I like Blxst. I think he's a good artist. I think he makes good music. I think sonically, right, musically, he doesn't necessarily make bad songs. But does those songs really stand out? Does those songs really touch you? Really reach your spirit? Really just embody everything that you need as a listener for you to relate, for it to resonate, and for you to be reinvigorated, right? So I feel like the music is good overall, right? When we come to Blxst, the music is always good. It's cool, right? To me, it's never great, right? But that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal taste. It's never great. It never reaches those boundaries. I feel like he did take some risk. He got in a little dance bag. He got in a little island bag. No reggaeton he got in a bag that's usually different from his normal West Coast bop. I believe he stepped out the box a little bit with this I'll always come find you. But I can't find you if you're never wanting to be found. And Blxst, he wanted to be found. He put up that SOS and said, I'm here. I'm not just going to be singing on these hip hop hooks, but I want to make some music that the ladies can sway their hips to. I want to make some music that the islanders can roll their belly to. I want to make some music to make them whine, that dirty, dirty wine. Blxst. I believe you did a good job in doing that. I believe you did a good job with taking the risk, shooting your shot, creating some type of musicality that we never heard from you or never heard much of you. And with your tone and with your vocals, I feel like it suits you. It definitely suits you better than what J. Cole did on Might Delete Later when he tried to get into that bag. Right? Why do you have to put another man down to uplift another? Well, I just have to point out the similarities. I just want to show you the comparison of somebody doing the job right and somebody trying to do the job but not getting it done. And I believe Blxst was able to get that job done, but at the end of the day, he tried to copy the same format as Don Tolliver. And I was listening to the songs. I was trying to see, does each segment sound different from the other segment? And to me, it really didn't. And what I mean, he was trying to copy of what Don Tolliver did, right? It was kind of like 4 EPs in one album, right? It was 4 segments of 4 tracks, 1 through 4, 1 through 4, 1 through 4, and the last one, 1 through 4. And all these songs, 1 through 4, I don't feel like I was getting a totally different, separate vibe than I was getting from the 4 before it or the 4 after. So to copy this format and really not to show much difference in the scheme or the sound or the pattern, to me, it didn't really make sense. It was hard to understand why he did it that way. And why do 16 tracks? Right? That's my issue with these artists. Blxst, you're a good artist. You make quality music. If you would have picked 12, if you would have put 10 tracks out of those 16 tracks, you could have gave us a classic. You could have gave us a masterpiece. You could have gave us something that we would have been wanting to listen to all summer, but you had to outdo yourself. You had to put out more music than you needed to. You had to give us a 16-track album, and that was not necessary. Drake, we want to hear 16. Cole, we want to hear 16. Kendrick, we want to hear 16. Wayne, we want to hear 16. Big Sean, we want to hear 16. Nas, we want to hear 16. Jay-Z, we want to hear 16. Blxst, we don't want to hear 16. Ty Dolla $ign, no, we don't want to hear 16. Right? We don't want to hear 16 from Jeremiah. We don't want to hear 16 from French Montana. We don't want to hear 16 from these artists that are on the cusp or on the edge of really breaking through. It's just too much music to consume, and everybody's dropping. So give us that 12. Give us that 10 that we can really absorb, that we really can take in and listen and really gravitate to that sound. And I think that would have suited you best, but they're telling you to do 16. When you're not a 16 type of artist, you're just a 10 to 12, and get on those features, get on those hooks like you do, and keep running the numbers up. But you're Robin. You are a Robin, right? You are a sidekick, Blxst, right? You are somebody that the big homie wants to take under his wing, right? You're somebody like 21 Savage to Drake, right? You're somebody like Baby King to Kendrick. You're somebody that can complement the sound of others, but you by yourself just doesn't hit that vibration and frequency that we need to put you on that pedestal to elevate your platform. So I love the music. I love the consistency. I love the quality. I love the sonic. I love everything that you're doing production wise. But what I need from you to do is do something that will really make you stand out as an individual, right? And maybe that's just too much high expectations, right? But Selfish Ways, that song Selfish Ways, I want to hear more like that. I want to hear more like that. I want to hear more pain because your vocal is similar to Anthony's Hamilton's tone. It's a little raspy, a little bit deeper. Right? I want to hear like a little more pain from you. And I feel like when you're a little bit more self-reflective, when you're a little bit more introspective, I believe that you can hit the target, the bullseye. So that's my review for Blxst. And goddamn, Schoolboy can't do a show in Canada. Toronto don't fuck with the West Coast. Toronto ain't trying to fool with TDE. Schoolboy Q, he was running rampant on Twitter. They just canceled my show in Toronto. Laughing emoji. Canadian police don't want nobody from TDE performing. Top was just with Wayne and Baby. Shaking my head. Party Next Door just had a show at the Palladium. Hand over face. If we wanted to get y'all, we would have just did it. Now when somebody cry, when somebody get hurt, don't cry. Actually, I get it. Never mind this shit. Low key hilarious. Laughing emoji. I don't know why Dot put me in that fucking video. Hand over face emoji. So Schoolboy Q is pretty much giving us his grievances when it comes to being held from performing in Toronto and Canada, right? And from what I understand, that's a very illustrious place, or I wouldn't say illustrious place, but that's a popular place. That's a place to perform. That's going to bring that bread. That's a place to perform, right? That's going to give you that look. That's going to give you that energy, and that's just going to bring the people out, right? And it's going to be financial gain for you. And when we look at the details, when we look at the inner workings, this place, right, that Schoolboy Q was supposed to perform, I can't think of the name right now, but this place is backed by Drake. I don't know if he's a part owner in this place. I don't know if he has a partnership in this place. I don't know what he has contract wise, number wise with this place, but Drake has ties to this place. So it's no wonder why Schoolboy Q and any other members of TDE cannot perform at this place. This place is a 2,500 people venue. So it's not a crazy big venue, but it's a venue where you can get paid. So, you know, Drake being the petty god that he is, and I don't even think they trying to say it's the police, right? But I think Drake definitely has an issue with TDE, obviously, right? Drake is known to be petty. And when we come to think about it, Drake took to the internet, posted a photo of a free Yayo shirt, one that Eminem wore when he was performing, right? And he wore the blue slides. So he definitely was taking aim at Schoolboy Q with just that picture. And he took that picture on the same day where it was announced that Schoolboy's Q show was canceled, right? Because of the Canadian quote unquote police. But I mean, just knowing what Ross went through and what happened to Ross, I think honestly, it has nothing to do with the Not Like Us video. It has nothing to do with the TDE connection, right? And even Drake aside, you know, when we think about shit turning bad, shit going bad, just violence happening, right? I believe this is the right move for the Canadian police to make. And even if Drake is a part of the Canadian police force, I think Drake made a smart move, right? I don't think Drake is to blame. Could he be held accountable because he has ties to this venue? Yes, but I mean, to be honest, Drake is doing Schoolboy Q a favor. I mean, gangsters get killed too. Just because you crippin', just because you Hoover, just because you rolling 60, just because you 5 deuce, you know what I'm saying? Just because you Damu Pyru, just because you on that gang shit don't mean you don't bleed like anybody else bleed, right? niggas ain't fighting better just cause they wearing a flag in their back pocket. Niggas ain't fighting better just cause they from the West Coast. Niggas ain't even in the boxing gym. Like, bro, we saw what happened to Ross in Vancouver. You could be a Canadian and can bust a motherfucker head wide open. Like, don't second guess these people from Canada and don't second guess a white man. These guys are in UFC. These guys got cauliflower ear. These guys will choke the shit out you. They know jiu-jitsu. They know how to wrestle. They know how to kick. They know how to punch. And they are athletic. I fought against some. I've seen some. Yes, I do Muay Thai. I do kickboxing. I done fought against white dudes. Yes, we got athleticism when it come to football, when it come to track, when it come to basketball. But when it come to hand-to-hand combat, these motherfuckers is in the army serving motherfuckers up. Right? Giving them that AK action. Giving them that sniper action. Right, bro? So it don't matter if you're from Canada or Canada. Like, these boys that are men know what to do. And just because you a gangster from the West Coast, bro, that don't mean shit. Just because you a gangster from Texas. Just because you a nigga from Harlem, Brooklyn. Bro, if you fight against somebody that know how to fight, you can get your ass whipped. So it's all about gunplay at that time. And shit, if you rolling with a bunch of criminals that can't carry these firearms in this area, then what you gonna do? Right? So I do believe that Drake not only made the best decision for Schoolboy Q, but he made the best decision for his family in Canada and keeping them away from acts of violence. So, Schoolboy Q, I don't think you need to whine about this. I don't think you need to try to stick your chest out and act like you hard about this. Yes, you later said that you're not trying to kill nobody, but you basically trying to beat on your chest saying, I'm from the West Coast. Like, y'all was in the West Coast. If I wanted to do something to y'all, I would have. Why you blocking me? Yes, I'm tied to Kendrick, but I'm not Kendrick. Your beef is with Kendrick. Your beef is not with me. So I see the Schoolboy Q side of things. Don't stop me from making money. Like, I never really said nothing about Drake, but now you have said something about Drake. You shot a sub to him on an interview. And let me read the comments from Schoolboy Q. Why he doesn't want to cater to kids. Me personally, I don't want to relate to kids. At 37 years old, I don't want 14-year-olds be like, oh, shit. My lyrics are about my life. I don't think I should relate to a 14-year-old. That's why rappers mess up. They get to a certain age and they try to take the sound of what 20, 19 years is doing. I want to sound like me. Bro. You doing nothing more than just basically repeating what Joe Budden said about Drake, right? Everybody's making this take about Drake. And we want to look at it in a real microscope and a real honest viewpoint. Drake is still childish, right? He's still childish. He's still petty. And Drake was brought up by a single mother. And one thing that we know about men that was raised by single mothers is they're a little bit more sensitive than other men. One thing we know about men that was raised by single mothers is they don't like authority. They don't like people telling them what to do. Right? So that type of issue that Drake is having with being sensitive, that type of issue that Drake is having with people telling him what he can do and what he cannot do, it reflects in the music. He's messing with these young girls. The only reason he's able to relate to these young girls is because, in a sense, in a vibrational and frequency sense, he's operating in that same frequency as them. He's vibrating in that same frequency as them. So I don't think he's just trying to cater to 20, 19-year-olds. He's living that lifestyle with these young women, and he's just talking about the experiences that he's experiencing with these young women, because young people like to do young things, right? And when you're older, you're going to want to do young things to keep you young. So it's not about trying to cater to these young people. Rap about your life. Rap about being a dad. But when I listened to Blue Lips, I mean, of course it was adult grown man rap, but it wasn't common. It wasn't conscious, right? Like, if you talking about any violence, if you talking about any gang shit, and you still banging the gang, right? You still banging the set. You 37 years old. It don't matter. Like what Cam and May said about Jay Prince. He's 60 years old and still trying to be a gangster. Anybody that's over 21 years old, 25 years old, still trying to be a gangster, it doesn't need to happen. That's immature. So you still typing like you a Hoover Crip. You still acting like this, bro. That's still not cool. I'd rather you rap to the women. I'd rather you rap to the young generation and have fun with your lyrical ability and make that type of substance than to rap about violence, than to rap about gang shit. Right? Poison, toxicity to the community. But I like Blue Lips. I love the album. I don't think it was all about that, but we know there was some elements of street shit in there. And I mean, you cannot run from your past. You cannot run from your experiences. You definitely got to display them. But when you're trying to downplay another man's approach and at the same time uplift your approach, then we got to look at that shit a certain way. Right? And we gotta be honest, right? We can't be biased because they're gonna be like, oh, you're biased. Oh, you don't like Drake. You hate Drake. You're a dark-skinned brother. You don't like light-skinned people. Right? It's that light-skinned, black-skin thing. It's that colorism. Y'all black people, y'all niggers have that issue. No. It ain't about that, bro. It's really about my brother, my brother. My white brother, my light-skinned brother, my dark brother. My brother, but it's really just about like the substance. And so at the end of the day, if you're gonna see it that way, you gotta see the other side of things. And 50 Cent. And if we take a look, Drake has been posting pictures with 50 Cent. Right? He been doing some things with 50 Cent recently. And if we look throughout the battle, 50 Cent was the main one, riding Drake's coattails. He was the main one giving Drake credit, giving Drake just encouragement to keep on battling and to keep on staying ahead. He was saying like, Kendrick, you better come with some shit. Like, don't think bad about Drake. Drake, he got a lot of stuff he can do. Like, he was bigging up Drake a lot. 50 Cent was showing Drake love. And so when we think about that, we got to think like 50 Cent was pretty much standing up for Drake. He wasn't outright like trying to pick a side, which kind of he actually did. Even though he's Interscope, even though he has ties to Dr. Dre and Eminem, he pretty much picked the other side, which is Drake. I feel like he felt like Drake was getting bullied. He felt like a lot of people were against Drake. And if not nobody to come to his rescue, if not nobody to side with Drake, 50 Cent did the right thing. He was trying to buddy up with Drake. So the picture with 50 Cent and Drake, the camaraderie, the friendship, the love shown, I'm not mad at it because right now Drake needs a big homie. He needs somebody other than Jay Prince to put his arm around him. He needs that gangster, right? Like he's used Atlanta for in the years. He needs somebody of street code, of street knowledge, of wisdom to put his arms around him, give him some type of perspective, give him some type of encouragement, give him some type of knowledge and some game, right? And to keep him going on in the path that he needs to go on to continue to uphold his greatness. Right? And 50 Cent had a run. 50 Cent had a short run of greatness, '03 to '05, where he was at his peak, but it was a run like no other. Right? We can't deny that about 50 Cent. So 50 Cent, he knows how to pivot. He knows how to, reinvent himself. And I think he's giving Drake that blueprint. I think he's giving Drake that information that he needs to reinvent himself at this time. Right? And hopefully he can use it. Hopefully he can put it to use. Hopefully, like, this will be a different Drake that we see in the future because of those conversations with 50. So if y'all want to see Drake still be able to be a fixture, be prominent in this culture, and to continue to help hip hop elevate, because he's helped hip hop elevate, right? then I mean we need people like him, and he needs to bounce back. So I'm not mad at that picture with 50 Cent and Drake, because I love 50 Cent because he embodies realness. He embodies marketing strategy. He embodies business. Remember when he came out running on the treadmill, drinking vitamin water? He embodies health. He didn't do no drugs. He didn't do no drinking. 50 Cent showed you who he was. He didn't hide. He didn't run from any beat. He didn't mince words. He said what he wanted to say. He was genuinely himself. He didn't run from Supreme. He didn't cower from any gangsters, any big homies, any OGs. 50 Cent's Boo Boo from Jamaica, Queens, and New York. 50 Cent is a legend. 50 Cent is an icon. 50 Cent is a mogul. 50 Cent have encouraged and put so many black people on his back and gave them a start and gave them a celebrity, a star in the industry. And we got to appreciate 50 Cent for that. And just think about the game and knowledge that he's giving Game. And we got to appreciate that for him too. You see, Game, he didn't do it right. Game jumped out. He jumped out his body to try to sell that album Time. He jumped out his body to try to put, you know what I'm saying, himself back into relevancy. And now he didn't get invited to the Super Bowl. He didn't get invited to the pop out. Game, he does think off impulse. 50 Cent does think off strategies. He knows the 48 laws of power. He studied them. He made the show about power. Right? And let's talk about the powerful kiss. Let's talk about the intimate scene that we saw photographed between Antonio Brown and Lil Kim. They puckered up. They gave each other a smooch. He gave her a hug. Somebody said, I don't even know if she can feel her face. I said, as long as he can feel her face, that's all that matters. That's the only thing a man cares about is the feeling of the face. Right? So, Lil Kim, Queen B, she's a legend. She's royalty in the hip hop game. And maybe she's had a lot of surgeries. Maybe she's got a lot of things done. Maybe she hasn't acted in the best light. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she haven't behaved the most classiest throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? But Lil Kim is one of our legends. She's one of the four mothers or forefathers, as you would say, for women's rap. And she really changed the game when she came out. So when it comes to Lil Kim, like saying anything bad about her is distasteful. Saying anything bad about her is just strange and weird. And although she has made some changes, although you can tell she's had to deal with some of the self-hate, but the love that a black brother can give her, the love, the confidence, the encouragement that a brother like AB can give her, a six-time all-pro receiver, a pro bowler, like AB, one of the best receivers in the game during his time, Antonio Brown. And we watched the Pivot interview. Nothing's wrong with his mind. Nothing's wrong with his mental. He just don't want to be contained. He just want to say whatever he want to say. He's trolling. He knows what he's doing. He's already said it. Right? But to degrade that man because he's acknowledging that a woman is a queen, to degrade that man because he's showing the queen bee love, that he's showing that he honors that loyalty, that he respects that loyalty, to degrade a man because he's doing that, to talk down on a man, to laugh at a man, to think this is comedy, to think that he's funny because he's lifting up a black queen the way should be lifted up, because he's kneeling down, bending down, giving her a kiss like she's Cinderella at the ball. Queen B. Lil Kim. She's something special. Right? She's delicate. She's been deflowered, but she's still a rose. Right? Just like Aretha Franklin said, baby girl, you're still a flower. And as a rose, it's still a rose. Right? She's still a flower. She's still a queen. She's still your highness. She's still one of prestige. Right? And we should treat her as such. And when a man shows her love, we shouldn't laugh at it like comedy. That's black love. What's wrong with that? Maybe you take Lil Kim as a joke. Maybe you take Antonio Brown as a joke. But the public displays of affection is the public displays of affection that we need within our community. Our children need to see us hugging, loving, kissing on one another. right? So that self hate can't seep through, so that self hate can't seep in into our mindsets. So I'm not mad at it at all. I loved it. I appreciated it. I'm all for it. And nothing's wrong with Antonio Brown. I mean, I believe he sees a good opportunity when he sees it. And I believe him doing that and being captured doing that, that just puts him in the limelight again. That just gets people talking about him again. And all it is about staying culturally current. It's all about staying relevant. And that is the currency that's going to continue to help you make money. That's going to continue to help you do business and future endeavors. So I think this was a great move by Antonio Brown. And then this also shared on Lil Kim. So it worked well for both. I can't condemn Antonio Brown, right? One of Biggie Smalls, the you know what I'm saying? Somebody who revered as one of the greatest artists in hip hop. He loved Kim. He put Kim on. Puffy. He loved Kim. He put Kim on. Right? So what's wrong with Antonio Brown showing love? So that's all my wisdom. That's all my detail for today. It's your brother. It's your cousin. It's your uncle. It's your nephew. Your friend. But I can't be your son. As I can't folk. William Jewell. L. Giving you my detail as I'm articulating. This is articulating. Rap, rap, rap.